Imagine strolling down the street, dreaming of that perfect, cozy place with a front porch and a garden gnome. But wait a minute, everyone's trying to figure out how on earth they can afford a home. Today, we're talking about a topic that has grabbed a lot of buzz. Seriously, have you noticed how everyone's talking about homes? Well, who wouldn't? It's where we spend most of our time, eat, sleep, and probably watch too many cat videos on the internet. But if nobody can afford a home, who's going to buy them? Well, answering the question that if nobody can afford a home, then who in the world is going to buy them is a very tough task, which requires a lot of effort. Well, let's divide the task into two main reasons. Reason number one. Now, we all know that fewer young people can afford a house these days, and at the same time, homes are getting pricier than your grandma's secret apple pie recipe. But if people can't afford to buy a house, shouldn't the prices just chill out? Well, you'd think so, but it's not that simple. You see, a family home should be the rock-solid foundation of your financial life. It's where you build your life, collect away some equity, and dream of a future where you own the place. Owning a home with a cozy 30-year mortgage can actually be cheaper each month than renting in most cities. So, if you can swing it, you're not just richer now, you're saving up those future riches too. Now, for the 75% of you in the audience who don't own a home, and trust us, you're not alone, it's probably because the dream of home ownership feels more like a distant galaxy than a reachable star. According to some experts at Redfin, only a measly 21% of homes that hit the market in 2022 were considered affordable. And get this, that's a fall down from the 60% of homes in 2021 that had affordable price tags. It's like the affordability fairy took a vacation or something. Now, a bunch of experts did some serious research, and they concluded that housing affordability is at its lowest point in the history of ever. But hold your horses, because we're about to find the one reason why this whole house buying business might just get crazier before it gets any saner. First off, let's break down the trick of buying a house. You don't need the whole enchilada of house money up front. Nope, you just need a down payment, like a ticket to the home ownership carnival. Now, keep in mind that the wages haven't been cooperating with house prices. But, and it's a big but, a 20% down payment grows at a slower pace than the absolute insanity of house prices. So let us throw some numbers at you. Back in 2020, the average home in America went for around $230,000. Fast forward to the start of 2023, and bam, the average price rocketed to $330,000. That's a $100,000 jump in less time than it takes to binge watch a season of your favorite show. The average Joe or Jane in the US is raking in about $59,428 before taxes. After Uncle Sam takes his cut, that leaves them with roughly $49,000 to play with. Now, let's say this average person pulls off a magic trick and saves 70% of their take-home pay. This might sound a little impossible, but hold on. Well, even with this level of saving, after 3 years, they're still stuck in a game of catch-up, because the average house price played catch-up too. Not everyone can pull off the financial skills needed to save 70% of their paycheck. Most people can't even scrape together $1,000 without getting into the debt pool. So, what do the money experts in the lending world do? They move the goalposts. A report from the National Association of Realtors explained the average down payment for a first-time home buyer is a mere 7%. Repeat buyers, who've had time to build up some home equity muscles, throw down just 17%. But wait, there's more. Some big shots like Zillow are testing out a 1% down payment loan. Yeah, you've heard that right, 1%. Zillow's like your savior of home ownership, making dreams come true for those who can't summon a hefty down payment. You pop in 1% and Zillow throws in an extra 2% at closing. So even if houses are making more money than you are, the entry fee is getting cut just as fast. Making the down payment is just the opening act. Repayments are the real deal, and if you can't toss down that golden 20%, well, welcome to learning how money really works. Reason number 2. Now let's head to the second reason why homes are getting pricier than a hot cup of coffee in a fancy cafe, even when it seems like nobody can afford to buy them. So here's the thing, nobody's selling. Yep, you heard it right. The housing market is playing a game of hide and seek, and the homes are the masters of disguise. Well, it turns out that people aren't exactly lining up to put their homes on the market, especially if they're sitting on a sweet 30-year fixed-rate mortgage below 3%. Who would want to let go of a deal like that? The whole process of supply and demand is full of twists, and potential sellers are sitting this one out. Home sales in America have hit the snooze button, taking a nap at their lowest level in a decade. According to the National Association of Realtors, there were 6 million homes sold in 2021. Fast forward to now, and we're looking at a much quieter 4 million homes selling at an annualized rate. Now, let's figure out why homeowners are playing hard to get. Imagine that you've got a home loan, the rental market is on fire, and moving into a new place means facing a higher mortgage rate than your comfy old one. It's like choosing between two not so great options, higher rates or soaring rents. But there's more to it. The cooling of the housing market has people hanging onto their homes for longer. The average homeowner now spends 13.2 years in their cozy residence. After a buying spree in the last few years, more Americans are settling into their nests, cozying up with the idea of selling as a distant daydream. Now, new buyers are playing the waiting game. They're eyeing the horizon, hoping for interest rates to go a little down before they make their move. It's like waiting for the perfect wave to ride in the vast ocean of real estate. And let's not forget the recent change in household dynamics. For the first time in 160 years, the average number of people living in a household is on the rise. Well, more young adults are choosing, or let's be real, being forced to stick around with their folks a bit longer. Blame it on the unaffordable housing market. It's like musical chairs, but with bedrooms. The market is still buzzing with activity, but regular buyers and sellers are sitting on the sidelines, waiting for the perfect moment to join the game. They want moving into a new home to feel like a stroll in the park, not an obstacle course on American Ninja Warrior. And here comes the second reason why this housing market play is still in town. There are three groups still in the game. First up, we've got the all-cash buyers. These are the smart folks who sold their old homes and are ready to pounce on a new one. If you're a boomer with a home from the 70s and you're eyeing a downsizing adventure, now's the time to shine. Prices are up and the gap between a big family home and a cozier spot is wider, giving you some extra cash in your pocket. Next in line, we have the interstate movers. High housing costs are pushing folks out of the big, expensive cities, making the idea of a new life in a more affordable city quite tempting. Sure, staying close to friends, family and familiar spots is nice, but if the price tag of your hometown is giving you the chills, why not trade it for a warmer welcome elsewhere? Last but not least, enter the investors. These folks only have one thing on their minds, the return on their investment. Prices might be going up and interest rates might be doing a little favor, but investors are in it for the long game. They're charging higher rent, playing the short-term rental game on platforms like Airbnb, and making the most of the real estate party. Now, if you enjoyed learning about the housing market with us, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more engaging content, and ring that notification bell to stay in the loop.